Hello everyone and welcome to FootballPower.tv's year-end high school top 10 show. I'm Dan Driscoll. It's been an exciting year in the mid-division with frequent fluctuations among teams throughout the season. Now the results are in for the Elite 10 in the mid-division football. Starting at number 10 is Ansonia High School out of Ansonia, Connecticut with a rating of 96.50. And the Chargers finished the season 13-0 after dispatching a previously unbeaten New London 35-0 for the Class S state championship. It was the second straight undefeated season for the Chargers, who now take a 27-game winning streak into the 2008 campaign. Record-setting running back Alex Thomas carried the load for the Chargers all season. And while notching the state records in career rushing yards, single-season yards, touchdowns in a career, and points for the career, Thomas was also named Connecticut Gatorade Player of the Year for 2007 after rushing for 3,102 yards and 42 touchdowns. Coming in at number 9 is Pierce Senior High School in Nebraska with a mark of 96.76. The Blue Jays won their first state title since 1978 with a 34-28 overtime win over Bishop Neumann for the Class C1 championship. The thrilling title victory saw the Blue Jays overcome a 28-7 deficit before putting the game away in the extra session. Behind the running tandem of Colton Stepp and Aaron Eddy, the Jays racked up 624 points in just 13 games, good for 48 points per contest. At number 8 in the rankings, we have Sheridan High School from Indiana with a final rating of 96.94. The Blackhawks became the first team in Indiana history to win 9 state championships after beating previously undefeated Rockville for the Class 1A title in November. Meanwhile, head coach Bud Wright became just the first coach in Indiana history to win 9 state championships. The Blackhawks featured lights-out rushing attack headed by quarterback Nick Zachary, who scampered over 2,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, and passed for 800 yards. Next on the countdown at number 7 is Solon High School from Solon, Iowa, with a rating of 97.31. The Spartans claimed their first state title, 2A, since 1988, after finishing as runner-up 5 different times, when they defeated top-ranked Central Lion George Little Rock 24-7. The win avenged a defeat to Central Lion in last year's championship contest. The Spartans featured a speedy sophomore, James Morris, in the backfield, who scampered for nearly 2,000 yards in 2007. Meanwhile, the stingy Spartan defense produced almost 40 takeaways. Coming in at number 6 with a rating of 97.64 is Buford High School from Buford, Georgia. Under head coach Jess Simpson, the Wolves posted a 15-0 record and won the Class AA title with a 50-0 blowout over Lovett. The Wolves proved to be as dominant on both sides of the ball, putting up an average of 45 points per game offensively, which is just 4 points shy of the record of 682 set by Dublin in 2006, allowing just 4.7 defensively. With the 2007 state title, Buford marked its 5th state championship, the last coming in 2003. With a starting lineup filled with Division I recruits, most notably Notre Dame-bound tackle Omar Hunter and Georgia Tech commit TJ Pridemore, it's no shock to find the Wolves here at number 6. The number 5 spot in the ratings belongs to Salina High School from Salina, Texas, with a rating of 97.64. The Bobcats proved to be an offensive juggernaut this season, racking up 703 points en route to a 16-0 record and Class 3A Division II championship. Thanks to a pair of Charlie Waldrop touchdowns, Salina defeated China Spring 21-14 on December 22nd to notch the record 8th straight football title. Meanwhile, Waldrop ended the year with 1,740 yards rushing and 34 touchdowns. while head coach Butch Ford improved his overall record at Salina to 86-5. Wapsie Valley from Iowa comes in at number 4 in the countdown with a rating of 97.7. The Warriors are no strangers to success, having won 3 state championships in their illustrious history, and in November they made it 4. The Warriors defeated Lawton Bronson 22-14 in the Class A championship and became the first team in state history to claim crowns in 3 different classes. Behind back Matthew Myers and quarterback Garrett McGrain, the Warriors finished 13-0 in 07 and made it 20 playoff appearances in 36 years. Myers finished the season with over 1,500 yards and 21 touchdowns, while McGrain completed 73% of his passes and combined for nearly 2,000 yards in the air and on the ground. At number 3 stands Bessemer Academy from Alabama with a rating of 97.84. The Rebels played their 4th state football championship in the last 6 seasons and came away with the title in November after toppling Faith Academy 35-27. Head coach Mark Freeman has improved to 51-1 in his team's last 52 games and is 85-5 since the squad first went to the finals in 2001. Led by offensive trio Jeremy Cox, Brandon Evans, and Garrett Pinchotti, and standout linebacker Tavron Arrington on defense, the Rebels proved to be one of the most balanced teams in Alabama football this year. Evans led the way with 22 touchdowns this year, while Pinchotti threw for over 2,500 yards, while Cox led Birmingham metro area with 2,200 yards and 29 touchdowns. Arrington totaled 188 tackles in his sophomore season. Next on the countdown at number 2 is Liberty Hill High School from Texas with a rating of 98.17. The Panthers marked back-to-back Class 3A championships in December when they pounced on Gilmer 38-13 thanks to 3 Dustin Gonzalez touchdown runs. Behind a slot T offense this year, Coach Jerry Vance and the Panthers averaged 47 points per game and had 3 running backs combined for over 4,500 yards and 69 touchdowns. Seniors Doug Allman, Clint Gavin, and Gonzalez all combined to produce 643 points in 14 games for the Panthers. Expect Liberty Hill to improve on its 24-game winning streak in 2008 season as the Panthers bring back talent on both sides of the ball. And finally, our number 1 team this year is Driscoll Catholic out of Addison, Illinois with a rating of 99.20. The Highlanders were the best of the best in 2007 and have the stats to back it up. Once they dispatched Bloomington in November to win the Class 4A state championship, the Highlanders had marked their 7th straight state title. On the way to the championship, Driscoll repeatedly put on a clinic. Highlanders routed each one of their playoff opponents by more than 28 points and scoring at least 41 points in each one of those games, having to implement a running clock by the second half. And once the Highlanders got that familiar position of playing favorite in the year's pinnacle contest, they were even more impressive. Driscoll's 430 yards against Bloomington set a new Class 4A title game record. Quarterback Dave Schwabe ran 18 times for 238 yards and set another 4A title game mark. And Tim Franken scampered for 5 touchdowns to set another championship game record. Driscoll dedicated their season to assistant varsity head coach Mike Lokensall, who died on November 7th after battle with cancer.
It was a great special year for us, and we've been truly blessed to have a great tradition, and the kids really buy into what we talk about, and it was a special year for us. Our senior leadership was tremendous. David Schwabe, Tim Franken, and Kevin Palermo are 3 possible Division I players, as well as the rest of the guys. Great senior leadership, and it helps everybody understand they have a role on the football team, but the game of football depends on seniors to emerge as leaders, and we had that from the preseason all the way through the state championship, and that was outstanding for us.
And there you have it. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. For FootballPower.tv, I'm Dan Driscoll.
FootballPower.tv. Get the power.